I'm Rachel, and at 40 years old, I thought my family was my greatest strength, until I uncovered a betrayal by my husband and daughter that tore apart everything I'd worked so hard to build, a deception that turned my life into a storm of heartbreak, a wound that still aches with every step I take through the home we once shared. We live in a cozy craftsman bungalow in Asheville, North Carolina, its stained glass windows casting colorful patterns on the hardwood floors, the front porch lined with ferns I planted with my husband, Mark, a 42-year-old graphic designer with a charming smile that once lit up my world. My days are filled with routine, running my small bakery downtown, kneading dough for cinnamon rolls that fill the air with sweetness, coaching soccer for my daughter Sophie's team, Sophie being 16 and a talented midfielder with a fiery spirit, and tucking in my younger daughter, Lily, 12, a budding poet who loves stargazing, her quiet giggles a balm to my busy days. I'd poured my heart into our family, waking at dawn to bake for the bakery, cheering at Sophie's games until my voice gave out, reading Lily's poems under the stars, dreaming of a life where love and trust would carry us through every challenge. But a devastating discovery revealed a secret alliance between Mark and Sophie, leaving me to fight for my family and my sanity in the aftermath of their betrayal. It began one foggy November morning, the air heavy with the scent of damp leaves, as I cleaned out the attic to make space for holiday decorations, the attic's dim light casting shadows on the boxes of memories we'd accumulated over the years. Tucked behind a stack of old photo albums, I found a locked journal, its leather cover worn but intact, a small key taped to its spine, the word Mark scrawled in his handwriting, a sight that made my heart skip a beat. Inside were entries spanning the last 2 years, his words sharp and cutting. Sophie agrees, Rachel's too controlling, we need to break free, revealing a plan he'd hatched with Sophie to leave me, a plot that unfolded while I'd been baking for their school fundraisers, my hands covered in flour as they whispered behind my back, their conspiracy a betrayal that pierced me like a knife, each sentence a reminder of the trust I'd placed in them, the nights I'd spent worrying about their happiness, now tainted by their deceit. The pain deepened when I found text messages printed and taped into the journal, exchanges between Mark and Sophie, dated just a month ago, a time when I'd been planning Sophie's 16th birthday party, my heart full of pride as I decorated the house with balloons, oblivious to their scheme. The messages detailed their plan to move to Chicago, where Mark had secretly accepted a new job, intending to take Sophie and leave me behind with Lily, claiming I was holding them back with my small-town dreams, even discussing how they'd convince a judge to grant Mark custody of Sophie by painting me as an unfit mother, a lie that turned my stomach, their words a direct attack on the life I'd built. The bakery I'd poured my soul into now a symbol of the sacrifices they'd dismissed. My hands shook as I sat on the attic floor, the cold seeping through my sweater, the weight of the truth crushing me as I realized they'd been plotting for months, their laughter at family dinners now a cruel facade, leaving me to question every hug, every I love you, every moment we'd shared, the ferns outside now a bitter reminder of a love I'd nurtured alone. I called Mark and Sophie to the living room, my voice trembling as I clutched the journal, the messages burning a hole in my pocket, the scent of cinnamon from the kitchen drifting through the open door as I sat them down, the same room where we'd watched movies on Friday nights, Lily's star chart still pinned to the wall, a relic of happier times. I laid the evidence on the coffee table, its surface scratched from years of board games, and demanded the truth, my eyes searching theirs for remorse, my heart pleading for an explanation, Lily's confused gaze from the couch cutting me deeper than I'd expected. Mark's face turned red, his voice rising as he accused me of invading his privacy, while Sophie crossed her arms, her soccer jersey wrinkled, her defiance a mirror of Mark's, claiming I'd never understood her dreams of a bigger life, their words a betrayal as deep as the plan itself, the thought of them conspiring while I coached her games breaking my heart anew. The betrayal grew darker when I learned they'd been siphoning money from my bakery's business account, funds I'd saved for a new oven and Lily's future, money I'd earned through sleepless nights of baking, the hum of the mixer a constant in my life. Sophie admitted they'd withdrawn over $20,000, claiming it was seed money for their new life in Chicago, Mark justifying it as what's best for Sophie, a hollow excuse for draining the account I'd relied on, leaving me with barely enough to keep the bakery running, a financial betrayal that left me reeling, my hands shaking as I realized how close I'd come to losing my livelihood, the ferns outside a silent witness to my pain. They'd even planned to leave the day after Thanksgiving, a holiday I'd spent planning with love, their packed bags already hidden in Mark's car, the thought of them driving away while I set the table for a family meal breaking my heart anew, each imagined mile a betrayal I couldn't forgive, the weight of their deceit crashing down. I refused to let their betrayal destroy my life, so I hired a lawyer, a determined woman named Jessica with a sharp mind, using the last of my personal savings, money I'd kept in a tin box in the pantry, its lid dented from Lily's clumsy hands. The legal battle stretched over 7 grueling months, each court date a test of my strength, the courthouse's stone steps a challenge for my tired legs, the air heavy with the scent of old paper and the murmur of attorneys, their voices a drone against my pounding heart. Mark's lawyer, a smug man with a cold stare, argued I was emotionally unstable and neglectful, presenting doctored financial records that claimed I'd mismanaged the bakery, a lie that made my blood boil, their audacity a slap to my face, Sophie's silent glare from the gallery adding to my pain. I sat through testimonies from a therapist Mark had hired, who claimed I'd been distant, and from a friend of Sophie's, who testified I'd pressured her, fabrications that brought tears to my eyes, my hands gripping Jessica's arm for support, her presence a lifeline. Jessica countered with evidence of my dedication. Bakery receipts showing my hard work, testimonies from soccer parents who praised my commitment, and bank records exposing the unauthorized withdrawals, her voice a steady anchor as she fought for me, her belief in my cause a light in the darkness, Lily's wide eyes from the gallery a reminder of who I was fighting for. I lost sleep, my bedroom a sanctuary turned prison, the silence deafening as I lay awake, the ticking of Mark's old clock on the nightstand a cruel reminder of time slipping away, its hands moving forward while I felt stuck in betrayal, the moonlight streaming through the curtains casting shadows on the walls, each one a specter of my pain, the creak of the floorboards a ghostly echo of their footsteps. The ghost of our shared life haunted me, Mark's laughter as we painted the porch, Sophie's cheers at her first soccer goal, Lily's stargazing nights in the yard. Each memory a blade that cut deeper, their joy a stark contrast to the family they'd become, their deceit a shadow over the love I'd given, the sound of their voices now a bitter refrain in my mind, mingling with their whispered plans. I'd clutch Mark's old scarf, its fabric faded from years of wear, the scent of his cologne long gone but the threads a tether to the man I'd loved, my tears soaking the fibers as I whispered to him in the dark, begging for answers, my voice breaking as I asked why he'd turned against me, the silence his only response. My friends from the bakery rallied around me, their support a lifeline in my despair, bringing coffee and sitting with me on the porch, the ferns swaying as they shared stories of their own struggles, their voices a comfort against the storm in my heart, the chirp of crickets a gentle backdrop to our talks. But the weight of Mark and Sophie's betrayal bore down, their absence at Lily's poetry recital. A day they'd once filled with applause and hugs, Sophie's soccer medals still on the mantel. Leaving me to cheer alone, my voice cracking as I made a silent wish for healing, the empty seats a silent accusation of their deceit. Just when I thought the worst had passed, a new twist emerged. Jessica discovered Mark had been working with a shady financial advisor, a man named Greg with a history of fraud, who'd helped them hide the bakery funds, his name linked to a scam that had targeted other small business owners in Asheville, his involvement a chilling revelation that deepened my fear, my nights now filled with dread of losing everything, the creak of the porch swing a sound I began to dread, its motion a reminder of happier days. I hired a private investigator, a stoic woman named Claire with a sharp gaze, her presence a reassurance as she dug into Greg's dealings, meeting me at a cafe with a view of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the smell of roasted coffee lingering as she handed me files, her hands steady as she detailed his schemes, the clink of cups a rhythm to our conversation. Claire uncovered that Mark had promised Greg a cut of the bakery funds, using it to secure an apartment in Chicago, a plot that could have left me bankrupt, the paperwork a labyrinth of deceit that made my head spin, each page a betrayal etched in numbers, Sophie's name on some documents a shock that left me breathless, her involvement a wound I couldn't comprehend. But the plot thickened when Claire revealed Greg's deeper motive. He'd been sued by a business owner years ago, losing a major client, and now he targeted vulnerable women as revenge, his partnership with Mark a twisted game of power, each move a step toward reclaiming his pride, a revelation that turned my stomach, the layers of betrayal piling higher, my breath catching as I realized the depth of their malice. Sophie's defiance a bitter twist. I spent months gathering evidence, my days a blur of meetings with Jessica, her office lined with legal books and a view of downtown Asheville, phone calls with Claire, her voice a steady comfort, and sleepless nights poring over documents, my kitchen table a war room of scattered papers and teacups, the walls closing in as I fought to reclaim what was mine, the ink on the pages blurring through my tears, my glasses fogging with each shaky breath, the scent of cinnamon drifting in from the bakery a bitter contrast to my pain. One evening as I sorted through Mark's old sketchbooks, their pages filled with designs, I found a note he'd written to me on our 10th anniversary, tucked inside, its words a balm to my soul, "Rachel, you're my rock, never change." The words gave me the resolve to keep fighting, his handwriting a lifeline in the storm, its loops and curves a reminder of the man I'd loved despite his betrayal, my fingers tracing the ink as I wept, the paper crinkling under my touch. But the fear escalated when Greg left a threatening note in my mailbox one night, its words scrawled in blue ink, "Drop this, or you'll lose it all," the threat chilling me to the core, my hands trembling as I showed it to Jessica, her face hardening as she promised to report him, her resolve a shield I clung to, my heart racing as I double-checked the locks each night, the click of the bolt a small victory against my fear. The courtroom became a crucible of tension, each session a battle for my dignity, the air heavy with the scent of old wood and the murmur of spectators, their whispers a backdrop to my pain, the benches creaking under their weight. Mark and Sophie sat together, their faces a mask of defiance, Mark's jaw tight, Sophie's soccer jersey wrinkled, Lily's eyes red with guilt as she sat beside me, their unity a stark contrast to the family we'd once been, Sophie's old soccer trophies on the mantel behind me a painful reminder of what I'd lost, the metal tarnished with age. The judge, a man with a stern demeanor and a deep voice, listened as Jessica presented our evidence. The real bank statements, Claire's findings on Greg, testimonies from bakery customers who praised my dedication, their voices a chorus of support that brought tears to my eyes, their hands patting mine as they passed, the warmth of their touch a lifeline. Greg was called as a witness, his smug demeanor faltering under Jessica's cross-examination, his lies unraveling as he stammered, his involvement with Mark exposed, the courtroom buzzing with gasps as the truth came to light, the weight of their deceit laid bare, Sophie's face paling as the evidence mounted, Mark's silence a confession of his greed. Their betrayal stemmed from their own ambitions, a truth that broke my heart anew, their resentment a wound that bled with every glance across the room, their faces now strangers to me, Lily's small hand in mine a reminder of what I still had. Finally, after a fight that felt like an eternity, marked by moments of despair and fleeting hope, the judge ruled in my favor, ordering Mark and Sophie to repay the misused funds. Over $20,000 in total, a sum they'd struggled to afford, a financial burden I knew they'd resent me for, the checks arriving in dribbles that barely covered my expenses, each one a reminder of the cost of their deceit, the envelopes piling up on my counter like a silent accusation. Greg was arrested for fraud in a separate investigation, his arrest reported in the local paper, his downfall a small justice that eased my fear, but the victory felt hollow, my trust in my husband and daughter was shattered into fragments I couldn't piece back together, my home secure but my heart scarred by the ones I'd loved most, their betrayal a wound that throbbed with every memory of our life, their laughter now a bitter echo, a sound that once brought joy now laced with pain Sophie's soccer games and Lily's poems a painful reminder of what I'd lost to their deceit. I started therapy to process the trauma, sitting in a cozy room with a therapist named Hannah, her gentle voice guiding me through the grief, joining a support group for women who'd faced family betrayal, their stories of resilience. Like a woman whose husband left her for her sister, or another whose son stole her savings, inspiring me to find my own strength, their shared sorrow a mirror to mine in the circle of chairs, the creak of the floor a rhythm to our healing, our hands clasped in solidarity, the scent of lavender from a candle a soft comfort. I fortified my home, installing a security system with alarms that chirped softly at night, painting the porch a warm terracotta to reclaim the space, the brushstrokes a defiant act against my sorrow, hanging fairy lights to banish the darkness, their gentle glow a melody of renewal, the breeze carrying their shimmer like a promise. I adopted a rescue cat, a tabby named Ember with a fiery coat, her softness a comfort as she slept on my lap, her purrs a reminder that I wasn't alone, her presence a silent companion as I watched the stars with Lily, their twinkling a quiet beauty. I started volunteering at a local community garden, teaching kids to plant vegetables, channeling my pain into helping them, their gratitude a balm for my broken spirit as we dug in the soil together, my hands steadying as I showed them how to sow seeds, their smiles a flicker of light in my darkness, their chatter a new rhythm in my life. Yet the wounds linger. I flinch at the sound of a car pulling up, fearing it's one of them, my heart now a source of anxiety with each unanswered call, the silence of the line a heavy weight, and I've grown wary of trust, my heart guarded behind walls I never thought I'd need, each memory of our family a double-edged sword, my smile faltering at the thought of their voices, Sophie's cheers, Lily's poems. I've taken up pottery, shaping clay to reclaim my joy, the spin of the wheel a new rhythm in my life, its texture a testament to my survival, the pots cracking like my heart, but the memories of their betrayal still surface. Their hugs at soccer games, their whispers of "I love you, Mom," the love I thought we shared a bittersweet ache that lingers like a ghost, a testament to the strength I found in the ashes of their deceit, a resilience forged in the fire of my pain. Thanks for listening to my story. It means the world to share this with you. Let me know in the comments if it resonated with you, and please like and subscribe if you'd like more real-life drama tales. I'd really appreciate your support.